Hello everyone, welcome to week 4 of Building Service Systems. This week we will go over the basics of framing and building construction, and also how air flows throughout a building. So like sort of what causes air movement, what are the results of the air movement, and what can lead to some of the phenomena that you commonly see in buildings that cause air to move around. And so if you want to understand and assess and manage a building's systems, you need to understand how the building is built. You need to see what's like behind the walls. And so we will start with construction basics, really with a focus on residential construction. And as you'll see in the book and in some of the readings, you'll see that sort of advanced framing techniques, sustainable building design, as I said, that's a theme that runs throughout the course. So we'll look at some of that as well. Okay, so we'll look at the key components of framing, aspects of dimensional lumber, and then we kind of dig into some of the some pretty good videos about framing here. So I want to make sure you understand how a house is built. And as I said, we'll kind of go to some of these advanced options like zip systems and integrated concrete forms versus structural insulated panels. So this is sort of a modern way to frame a house or build a house. It's kind of like ICFs aren't really framing, but anyway, hope you working in the construction industry. I think most of you are construction management. Maybe there's an architecture or two major in here. All of this is you're going to encounter for sure. I mean, you need to understand how these are, how buildings are built, and then this modern framing I think is really important. Then we'll switch gears a little bit, get into pressure and airflow. Pressure differences, aka delta P, that's what drives air movement. Period. Okay, so that's what makes the wind blow, but that's also on a smaller scale what makes air move around. So we'll go over those concepts here. Pressure and airflow, different ways to measure pressure. And then we'll get into some of the common phenomena that cause delta P's throughout a building, which then causes air to move. So the stack effect is a really important one. That's kind of the main one. But just in general, it's important that you understand how air moves around a house and a building. And then we'll get into a little bit of some of the applications, the solutions to air leakage and air maintaining airflow. So one of the big problems with airflow, I guess sort of unwanted airflow, is that and the pressure differences that cause that airflow is that it can cause leakage. So air leaking out of a building and then consequently into a building or subsequently into a building. And so as you should know, if a cubic foot of air goes out of a building, a cubic foot is coming back into the building, and you can't stop it. That's physics. And so if you have something like the stack effect, which is pushing air up and out of a building, at the same time it's pulling air in, usually toward the bottom of the building, and I'm posting this video at the end of January in the Northeast, and so it's cold outside. And when I have the stack effect, I can't stop. It's difficult to stop the stack effect. Now, there are ways you can do it by sort of putting positive pressure in a building. In a residential building, we don't do that. And so you have this air that's moving up, pushing out at the top, and at the same time, air is coming in the bottom. So I have this cold air that's coming in. At the same time, I'm losing warm air. So that's sort of a double whammy of the stack effect. And so we'll look at, okay, how do we help prevent that or minimize that? And air sealing is the main way we do it. And so there's a couple of videos here that demonstrate the best ways to prevent the stack effect from causing all this excess energy use. And then there's actually a nice video here on how to insulate a space. And in this case, it's actually a balloon frame house. And so I wanted to kind of get you some exposure to that balloon frame and some of the common problems that are caused by those. And then, of course, there's the usual summary videos. Okay, so that's an overview of this week. Hopefully you enjoy the content and keep up the good work. And if you have any questions, let me know.